What's up, everyone? So I want to talk about something that I've learned throughout my journey of spirituality, religion, and I guess you can say life in general. But specifically, I want to talk about the idea of God. And I know that there are so many different ways of relating to God, anywhere from atheism, where you don't believe that there is a God, all the way to the other end of religion, where you do believe in a God, and the whole spectrum in between those two ends, ranging from different spiritual practices and ideologies and all the unique ways that people relate to an idea of God. And I just want to share a little bit about my story, and hopefully it can benefit you on your journey, or give you something to contemplate over. So for starters, I grew up Catholic, as I've mentioned before, and around the age of 18 I branched out and deviated from the church and studied different spiritual paths, different religions from around the world, and also immersed myself in different practices such as yoga and meditation. And throughout, and most recently, I've made my way back to studying religious scriptures, religious texts, such as the Bible, also reading into various Eastern religious texts, specifically the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, various Eastern texts. And what I've come to realize throughout this journey, that's been very, very non-linear, you can say, what I've come to realize is that there is a God, and a common conception of non-religious individuals is that something that I see is that some people think that there is a God outside of them that is separate from them, which is one way of looking at the world. This is me as an individual, and there is a God that is outside of me. Another way to look at things is that I am God. I am the creator of my world, and to a certain extent I affect reality, and I am the creator. So those are two distinct ways of relating to creation. And what I've come to realize, specifically from reading, I believe it's in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is for context, this is a 5,000-year-old textbook that comes originally from India, and it translates to the beautiful story of God. That's what the Srimad Bhagavatam stands for. And within this book, which is I believe it's 14,000 verses, so it's quite a lengthy book. Within the scripture, it talks about how there is both a God outside of the self, because you and I, to my knowledge, to my understanding, we're on planet Earth right now. We're living on planet Earth, and we are all operating under the same laws of gravity. We all experience time in linear fashion. There's all of the parameters that apply to life on Earth. We all share those. However, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a God that is outside of the self and found in everything, actually. And there's also a God within yourself that it's I believe it's the word is called Paramatma, which essentially translates to the supreme God. It's also inside of you. So that's the understanding that hits the most true to myself, because like I said, you know, I've been through so many different ideologies, so many different ways of relating to the world, and yeah, when I came across that information, that's what made the most sense to myself. And yeah, I want to share this because I do think that whatever relationship you have to a creator is important, and I think it's one of the most fundamental things to contemplate over in this existence. You know, like, is there a creator? Who is this creator? What is my relationship to this creator? And what are the ways, you know, how does this unfold? And I think it's something that's very beautiful and worth contemplating and evaluating. So yeah, I hope some of that was helpful for yourself. Like I said, I just want to share my perspective and my realization and my understanding, and I'd be curious to hear your realizations. And again, this isn't about right or wrong or any of that. This is just a way to contemplate our existence. So thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day. Peace.